Hi everyone, my name is Faith, and today I'm going to be talking about the FinFun Amp Monofin. So this is a slightly new and improved version of the FinFun Monofin. So you see that little black thing in the center? That's their main improvement. They wanted to make this monofin tighter and more secure on your feet. So that black area there you see is actually a hole in the center of the monofin where they've sewn the two sides of the neoprene cover. It's still made out of neoprene together. So it's really interesting because you can't actually take off the whole monofin cover. It'll get stuck about halfway. So it's not like they've created a full dual separate foot pocket, but they've actually put it right about where your toes go, depending on how big your feet are. Mine end like just above it. So it actually stops your feet from rubbing against each other and keeps them in a more secure position instead of them sliding back and forth, which is pretty nifty. The other improvement they have is on top of the monofin where your feet go, there's actually a little bit of a slightly rubbery textured area, which keeps your feet there more secure. I didn't really notice that it made too much of a difference, but you know, it was a nice addition. Then lastly, they also have these rubber bumpers on the side of the monofin, which I think is a better improvement than the cushions that they had before, because the cushions just added more buoyancy to your tail. That being said, this monofin is still positively buoyant and it floats up, so I don't really like using the FinFun monofins as much anymore because I find that, like, see, look, there's my feet floating to the surface of the water, so that's not fantastic, but for beginners this is absolutely a good monofin. Now, this is technically the second, more professional iteration of their monofin. I would say that yes, it is a little bit more rigid, so it does give you more propulsion. If you compare this to a regular FinFun Monofin Pro, the FinFun Monofin is a lot floppier. This one has still definitely got a lot of flop and roll, but maybe just not as much. It's a little bit slightly stiffer. In fact, the insert inside of the monofin is a gray instead of a black. And that's about all the improvements. I can't remember if that black area at the side of my heels is actually rubber or not. I'm pretty sure it's just a black neoprene. So this monofin, I actually really enjoy swimming in it. It is what I like to call my FinFun monofin. I do have another one or two FinFun monofins, but I use those for beginners that I know will beat it up. This is very, very tight around my ankles. Now that also just might be because it's a new monofin that's pretty untouched and pretty well cared for, as opposed to my 1 or 2 year old FinFun monofin that's a little stretched out at the ankle portion. But it does definitely keep my feet in a little more securely, and this is what it looks like in a tail, of course, pretty much the same. It looks like a FinFun monofin, swims like a FinFun monofin. And so now people are asking me, is this monofin worth it? And I would say, I mean, it's worth it if you are starting out with a FinFun, or it's like kind of your second really good tail. You're a little bit better of a swimmer and you want a nice, long-lasting, powerful monofin. I'd say sure, go ahead. Now, is this a great monofin to upgrade from your regular FinFun monofin? Not really. It's not all that different than a regular FinFun monofin. There's just a few slight upgrades, but essentially, when it comes down to it, it pretty much swims the same. You don't really notice that much of a difference. The difference is really in security. And so, if the main reason that people would upgrade from a FinFun monofin is that it's stretched out and you want something a little more powerful, a FinFun Amp monofin is eventually going to do the same thing and isn't that much more powerful, so I would more suggest if you already have a FinFun tail and you want something a little bit better, get a Luna or a Linden. With a bit of stretching, those can fit inside FinFun tail skins. But the FinFun Amp, you know, if you are starting out and you have maybe a couple extra dollars in your mermaid tail budget, I'd say go for the Amp monofin. It would still be pretty good for beginners. Like I said, it's just a little bit stronger, so if you're a stronger swimmer, then sure, but it's still a fantastic monofin for beginners because it has a quick release system, so you can press down with your toes, pull out with your ankles, and you will be out of the monofin in the tail in seconds. And as well, it's a buoyant monofin, so you don't have to worry about it pulling you down. In fact, in this one, I actually have to push down a little bit more to get it below the surface of the water. But anyways, that is my thought on the FinFun Amp monofin. I know people have been asking me and begging me to talk about it, so that's my little mini review. This was not sponsored by FinFun in any ways. I just like their products and like telling you more about it and helping you live your best mermaid dreams. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Comment below any thoughts you have on the FinFun Amp monofin. I'd love to hear them. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more of my mermaidy self and lots of other fun content coming your way soon. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! So thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful,